elc128, worksheet 21. This is discussion of this worksheet. Question number 1 pertains to the program that you actually did in worksheet 20. Is the anti-tie down a safety circuit, and what kind of safety? Safety basically breaks down into a couple of categories. There's human safety, there's equipment safety. So you can actually categorize that. What are the other types of safety circuits, and which safety has the priority? That's pretty self-explanatory. For the program 4 through 10, stop, start, forward, reverse, only has 2 outputs using a copy instruction rather than individual bit outputs. Can you still have interlocks? So instead of having the physical output coil that we did, that we started with, you're actually now going to use a copy instruction for your outputs on a stop start. The reason I have students do this is because a lot of programs, once in a while you see the output instructions, but more often, depending on the programmer's knowledge, skill, and experience, a lot of times you'll see them just moving numbers. And so the more that you see and the more familiar you are with it, the better off you'll be in terms of interpreting other people's programs and being able to troubleshoot them. So if you use a copy, can you still have interlocks? And what happens if someone changes the number in the memory that you copy from? So as you just start moving numbers in a PLC, that's going to be one of the issues, that somebody can go in there and just change a number in memory somewhere, and now your program's going to do something that you don't expect. I have seen it happen. I don't know how the number got changed, but I have seen the output actually change because it was a number written to an output card and somebody had changed the number. 11 through 11 and 12 has to do with printing out a program. I would strongly suggest that you do a couple PLC programs. You save them, you comment them very well so that you will remember what happens, or remember how you programmed it. If you don't look at a PLC for 6 months or even a year, but print out a PLC program. If you got the software, you got a printer at home, you can sort of do it. There is a way to print out your programs. The main thing you probably want to see is the ladder and the cross-reference. A lot of PLC programs try and put a title page on there, and it's just an extra sheet of paper. I mean, you can do it however you want to. And this is really for you. If you staple a PLC program that you can explain to someone to your resume, that makes you look better. That sets you apart, and it shows that you have some understanding of PLC, and a lot of people are looking for that kind of skill. Don't print out somebody else's program as your own, because a good interviewer is going to ask you to explain it, and you don't want to be put on the spot. So make it your own. Make sure you understand it. Make sure you comment to the point that you will remember, and then it will be a benefit. 13 through 15 has to do with remote programming. We, this semester, have pretty much done locally programming. We haven't done it across the network, but what you're going to run into out there in in the practical aspect is most of your PLCs are now networked, usually to some kind of Ethernet, and therefore you can make changes remotely. So if you network your PLC, you can make changes remotely. What must be done to give remote access to the equipment? Well, there is a company in Morganton that manufactures anti-lock brake systems. Their engineering department is in Germany, in Europe, and those engineers in Europe are able to make changes to the equipment in Morganton over the internet, and a lot of companies are doing that. Their R&D has access to the equipment and can make changes. Hopefully they coordinate it. So question 14 has to do with, okay, what kind of things do we need to think about in terms of giving remote access to equipment? Obviously, you probably want to be behind some kind of firewall because you don't want a random stranger coming in and changing your equipment. And so I want you to think in terms of that, in terms of 14 and 15. So there's going to be some security. The college is wanting to do a internet security program. So I mean, there's that can go as deep as you want. I'm just looking to at least make you aware of it out there, that it's out there and that it happens, and then what seems reasonable to you. Okay, that was a pretty easy one. If you don't have your start stop, you can rewrite it. It's what, 4 rungs? So it's probably not even 4 rungs. So if you do stop, start, forward, reverse, I think you can do it in 2 rungs plus an end statement. And so if you don't have it, you can rewrite it. If you don't have the software, you can sketch it out on a piece of paper, take a picture of it, send it to me. Send me stuff. Anyway, I think that's it. Thank you for watching.